is there a new dollar bull market ahead? Hi, it's Charlie giving you your midweek video on Wednesday. So just looking at the euro dollar to start off here, this is really the proxy for the dollar itself because the euro dollar is effectively an inverted dollar index. And so what we're going to have a quick look at here is, are we at this point whereby there's a new dollar bull market? The euro's been going up against the dollar. In fact, most of the currencies against the dollar have been rising since the beginning of April. And what we've seen is this essentially sideways price action going on over the last couple of weeks. And literally, as I'm recording this Wednesday morning, we can see the euro is selling off, and we'll see if we go and look at the other markets, the pound, again, a similar sort of price action, very sideways here. Let's go and have a look at the New Zealand dollar as well. Again, very choppy over the last month, and likewise with the Australian dollar against the US dollar as well. Very sideways and choppy, but could we be going for a break here? And if I go to the dollar CAD, another one here, very, very sideways. So we're seeing these similar patterns across the board on these currencies against the dollar. Now, so first of all, we've got what is potentially distribution, whereby markets have been chopping, holding up near these highs, and maybe this is the beginning of a down leg. This is just a down day here, obviously, at the moment, and they're still within their ranges. So what I'm doing with this video is just to pose the questions to you. Now we've got technically some distribution potentially going on here, and of course I've got this trend channel in play here on the euro, and you can see it's starting to break it. It tried to break it last Friday and then came back up, did a lovely reversal, and now this time maybe we're going to get the follow through to the downside. Maybe. I'm just posing the question. I'm not trying to dictate to you what is going to happen. I'm just posing the question. The next factor at play is this Friday. So we've got non-farm payrolls out this Friday, and these payroll figures have been much more important of late in recent months as we've come out of lockdowns in the US, and so the jobs numbers have been important. And again, this Friday they will be important. So if those jobs figures beat the estimates, then we really could see a dollar resurgence and a more dollar downside, euro dollar downside, and the other currencies against the dollar break as well. So do look out for that. However, the flip side is that going into Friday, if the non-farm payrolls, if the payrolls figures do not meet expectations, or at least substantially underperform or don't meet, then we could see these currencies appreciating against the dollar again. So this is a fascinating time right now, and this is why I wanted to put this video out today, because it's not necessarily about today, but certainly once we get to the end of the week, it'll be interesting to see how these currencies and how the dollar reacts to whatever the jobs figures are going to be on Friday afternoon, and then how we close out the end of the week. So at the moment we've just got it's a nice sell-off here, and so a bit of dollar strength coming in pretty much across the board today, but still we are in this range. So the potential is, has this range here for the last 2 weeks been a distribution period, and in fact we're now going to start to see like I said, the dollar appreciate against the likes of the euro. If I go out to the weekly chart, we've had these great runs. Got some more channels in play here. Got a bigger, wider channel in play. Could it be that the euro? And we can see we've had some indecision. You can see that reflected. What I've just talked about on the daily chart, you can see reflected in the weeklies here, in the weekly candles. So could it? If this does close down this week, then certainly the potential's there for follow through back as far as potentially this lower trend line as well, and then we'll take it from there. So a fascinating period right now this week for the dollar. So I wanted to put this video out to you because we're going to go one way or another. I last talked about this back when I had this trend line over here, and I talked about the potential for the trade of the year, so to stuff. I think that was on a previous YouTube video. So the euro broke to the upside, and so the potential is still there that the euro dollar still goes and breaks to the upside. Like I said, I'm just posing the questions to you at the moment, because for some of you, you might be thinking this could be really interesting going into Friday, depending on how those payroll figures come out. Okay, just a little bit of food for thought for you this week. And ahead of those payroll figures, good luck on that. You don't have to remember, you don't have to trade the figures themselves. You can let all the dust settle and then have a look at it an hour later. You don't have to trade the volatility, because quite often what does happen when you get non-farm payrolls reports come out, the market will fly in both directions even before it actually decides which way it does want to go. So do bear that in mind. Quite often the markets will move in both directions. But right now, interesting bit of weakness coming through on these currencies against the dollar. Are we going to see a continuation of this weakness? We've got this trendline break going on as we speak here, or do those job reports come out and not meet expectations? In which case, if they don't, then we should see these currencies appreciate again against the dollar. Good luck. Take care. I'll see you on Saturday.